What if I told you there's one specific number that separates people who struggle with money their entire lives from those who actually build wealth? That number is $100,000 invested. Getting to that first $100,000 is absolutely brutal. It's the hardest money you'll ever save. You'll want to quit 100 times. You'll wonder if investing even works. But once you cross that threshold, something incredible happens. Your money starts working harder for you than you work for your money. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why reaching $100,000 in investments is the most important financial milestone of your life, why it feels impossible to get there, and how everything changes once you do. Because here's the thing most people don't understand. The first 100K is hell, but it's the foundation for everything that comes after. The savings trap that keeps you broke. Let me tell you about Marcus. He's 28, makes $60,000 a year, and has been trying to save money for 5 years. He's managed to put away about $18,000, but it feels like he's running on a hamster wheel. Every month he saves a few $100, but it never seems to add up to anything meaningful. Marcus represents millions of people stuck in what I call the savings trap. They're doing everything right, budgeting, cutting expenses, putting money away, but they're not seeing the exponential growth they've heard about. Here's why. When you're starting from zero, compound interest is practically invisible. Let's say Marcus saves $500 every month and invests it at 7% returns. After 1 year, he has $6,000 in contributions plus about $200 in interest. That $200 feels like nothing compared to the $6,000 he worked so hard to save. After 2 years, $12,000 in contributions and maybe $800 in total interest. Still feels like peanuts. This is where most people get discouraged. They think investing doesn't work. And this is where most people screw it up. They quit right before the magic starts happening. The mathematical reality of $100,000. Here's the part nobody tells you. He's building the foundation for something incredible. The math is simple but brutal. It takes about 8 years to save your first $100,000 if you're putting away $10,000 per year at 7% returns. 8 years of grinding while seeing relatively small returns. But here's where it gets interesting. Once Marcus hits $100,000, saving his next $100,000 will only take about 5 years. The third $100,000? Just 4 years. The fourth? 3 years. This isn't magic. This is mathematics. At $100,000 invested at 7% returns, you're earning about $7,000 per year without lifting a finger. That's $583 every month that you didn't have to work for. For most people, that's a car payment. For some, it's rent money. But here's the beautiful part, that $7,000 gets reinvested. So next year, you're earning returns on $107,000, then $114,490, then $122,504. The snowball has officially started rolling. Why getting there feels impossible. If you only take one thing away from this video, it's this. There are 3 reasons why reaching $100,000 feels impossible, and understanding them will help you push through. Reason number 1. Your contributions dominate everything. When you're starting out, your monthly contributions completely overshadow your returns. If you're saving $1,000 per month and your investments are returning $50 per month, those returns feel meaningless. You're doing 95% of the work. Compound interest is doing 5%. Reason number 2. We live in an instant gratification world. You can order food and have it delivered in 30 minutes. But wealth building takes years of delayed gratification with very little visible progress. When you're saving your first $100,000, you're paying your future self. But your future self can't thank you today. Reason number 3. Most people don't understand what $100,000 represents. It's not just a big number. It's the point where compound interest stops being lame and starts being life-changing. Before $100,000, you're the engine. After $100,000, compound interest becomes the engine. What actually happens after $100,000? Let me break down the exact journey from $100,000 to $1 million, using that same $10,000 per year at 7% returns. First, the grind to 100K takes about 8 years. You'll contribute $80,000 of your own money while compound interest only contributes $20,000. You're doing 80% of the work. Next, building to 200K takes 5 more years. You contribute $50,000 and compound interest matches you with $50,000. Now the work is balanced. Finally, reaching 300K takes just 4 more years. You only contribute $40,000, but compound interest contributes $60,000. For the first time, compound interest is doing more work than you are. By the time you reach $500,000, your investments are generating about $35,000 per year. That's more than 3 times your annual contribution. When you hit $1 million, your investments generate about $70,000 per year. That's 7 times more than you're putting in. This is why wealthy people seem to get wealthier so quickly. They've crossed the threshold where their money works harder than they do. The psychological transformation. But here's what nobody talks about. Reaching $100,000 doesn't just change your bank account, it changes how you think. When you have $100,000 invested, you stop seeing every dollar as something to spend and start seeing it as something that can multiply. You develop patience. You've proven to yourself that you can delay gratification for years. You've built the mental muscle that separates wealth builders from everyone else. Having $100,000 gives you options. You can take calculated risks in your career because you have a financial cushion. You can make decisions based on what's best for your future, not just what pays the bills today. You start thinking like someone who has money instead of someone who needs money. The brutal truth about getting there. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Getting to 100K sucks. You'll be tempted to spend that money on 1,000 different things. A new car, a bigger apartment, vacations. Everyone around you will be living for today while you're saving for tomorrow. You'll watch your friends buy stuff while you're putting money into investments that barely seem to grow. There will be months where the stock market drops, and your $50,000 becomes $45,000. You'll want to pull everything out and stuff it under your mattress. This is exactly why most people never build wealth. They can't handle the psychological torture of the first 100K. But if you can push through that phase, if you can survive the grind, everything changes. How to actually get there. Here's the honest truth about reaching $100,000 faster. Focus on earning more, not just spending less. There's a limit to how much you can cut. There's no limit to how much you can earn. Are you getting your full employer 401k match? That's free money. Are you asking for raises? Switching jobs for better pay? Developing skills that make you more valuable? Automate everything. Set up automatic transfers to your investment accounts. Remove yourself from the decision-making process. The money should move before you can spend it. Invest in boring stuff. Low-cost index funds, not individual stocks or crypto, not whatever's trending on TikTok. Boring beats exciting when it comes to building wealth. Track your progress, but don't obsess. Check your accounts monthly, not daily. Celebrate milestones at $10,000, $25,000, $50,000. These prove your system is working. The choice that defines your future. Here's what it comes down to. Most people will never reach $100,000 in investments. They'll make excuses. I don't make enough money. The market is too risky. I need that money for other things. They'll choose short-term comfort over long-term wealth. They'll buy stuff instead of buying their freedom. But you have a choice. You can join the small percentage of people who understand that the first $100,000 is the hardest but most important money you'll ever save. You can choose 8 years of sacrifice for 30+ years of financial freedom. Or you can choose immediate gratification and work until you die. The brutal reality is this: if you're 25 and you start putting away $10,000 per year, you'll hit $100,000 by 33. If you wait until you're 35 to start, you'll hit $100,000 by 43. Those 10 years of waiting will cost you decades of compound growth. Your next move: stop making this complicated. Here's what you need to do today. Calculate how much you need to save monthly to hit $100,000. If you can invest $800 per month at 7% returns, you'll get there in about 8.5 years. Can't do $800? Start with whatever you can. The habit matters more than the amount. Set up automatic investing. Remove the temptation to spend that money on other stuff. Accept that this is going to suck for the first few years, but understand that every wealthy person had to cross this threshold. The first $100,000 is the hardest money you'll ever save, but it's also the most important, because once you get there, you'll never look at money the same way again. If this video showed you why $100,000 is the real game changer, hit that like button and subscribe for more honest breakdowns on building actual wealth. Your future millionaire self is counting on the decisions you make today. I'll see you in the next one.